Today I will be analyzing Prada. Let's first delve into the creator and history. In 1913, Mario Prada founded Fratelli Prada, specializing in bags, trunks, and travel accessories. And in 1958, his daughter Luisa Prada took over the business and kept it afloat for over 20 years until 1978, when her daughter Muccia, alongside Patrizio Bertelli, joined forces to expand Prada into the business it is today. Muccia was the CEO for a long time, and this is very ironic that not only Mario's daughter and granddaughter took over the business because they are women, it's because he didn't even believe that women had a place in the business environment. And so that has definitely diverged from the original value of Mario as a founder. And Mucha has really been the driving force of what Prada has become today. In 2020, she asked Raf Simons to join her as co-creative director of the business, and it is very much a partnership on both ends based on mutual decisions. On June 24, 2011, Prada became listed publicly on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, but Prada is still independent and family owned. Patrizio and Muccia ended up getting married in 1988, and they had two sons. And Lorenzo Bertelli, one of their sons, seen in the second photo on the very right, is set to become the CEO in the future. Andrew Guerra, Prada's current CEO and CEO of Prada Group, has stated, quote, "Lorenzo is the person who will manage this in the long term." The creative leadership, as I stated right now, is a mutual one between Muccia and Raf, and they are very much on the same page. Simmons says this in an interview magazine titled Mrs. Prada and Raf Simons on AI, appropriation, and the relevance of fashion. He says, quote, "For us, there is a strong desire to design clothes that are real, and by real, we mean it's for humans. They're able to wear it." He also says, quote, "We both like uniforms. We think they're beautiful garments, but we don't like the connotation with war or male dominance, so we turned it around." Muccia has always had a love for uniforms as well. And Lou Stoppard says this about Raf Simons' 1995 eponymous label, quote, "His menswear company became known for hoodies and skinny silhouettes, and as with Prada, clever plays on uniform." So their love of the uniform is probably why their creative decisions have such a synergy together. One of the biggest signature elements of Prada is the triangle logo. It's not only seen on their perfumes and eyeshadows, but it's also seen on logos of bags, clothing. Even the triangle is present on their fine jewelry collection. The other really driving signature element of Prada is their nylon, which is very sleek and minimalist and very utilitarian. And Prada is also known for a very clever, cheeky take on intellectualism and uniforms. Another signature element of Prada is their Prada green, which can be seen in all of their stores. This started in 1983 when they expanded their retail network with its signature Prada green, and the first store to feature this was its Milan store in Via della Spiga. The symbol that's losing relevance for Prada is definitely this House of Savoy coat of arms knotted rope design, which was issued in 1919. They received it as an official supplier of the Italian royal house. But this design is not seen throughout their advertising campaigns, throughout their beauty. It's not tied in as much as their other elements. Prada meets all of the luxury definitions. The first being a very qualitative, hedonistic experience or a product made to last. For example, their Galleria bag is classic, timeless. It started to be sold in 2007. It's still sold today, and it's known as one of Prada's signature bags. The second luxury definition, offered at a price that far exceeds what mere functional value would command, and this can be seen because their nylon backpack, which is one of their signature items, is sold for $2,500, but a similar nylon backpack is sold for $205. So their backpack is almost 10 times more than that a functional value would command. The third element is that it's tied to a heritage or a culture, and the Prada name is very much tied to Miuccia and her vision and her creativity. She is the granddaughter of the founder, and she's really the vision behind the brand. Their brand is also a social marker. For example, Taylor Swift just carrying the Galleria bag casually around like someone would carry just a casual everyday bag. They also meet this luxury definition by only selling Prada in controlled distribution. This might be their weakest element though, because they also sell their fragrance in big box stores like Macy's, or they even sell their items online. And the last is that it's offered with personalized accompanying services, and this could be seen with their made to order and made to measure items for men's suits as well as some leather goods. Prada meets the 5 anti-laws of luxury. The first one is to be rejecting trend cycles. Their designs aren't for everyone, and they purposely mix and match outfits so it doesn't make sense to everyone. Another way that they're abiding by these anti-laws is they keep non-enthusiasts out by offering Prada mode events, which are private club exclusive events for their very important customers. They also position themselves as intellectual, geek chic, and ugly is pretty. They just position themselves as that, and people either get it or they don't, and they don't care either way. Whereas in mass retail, you want everyone to understand what you're trying to sell. But Prada is very much an insider club. The other way that they follow an anti-law of luxury marketing is they cultivate closeness with arts, whether it's they're permitting the famous Prada Marfa installation by Elm Green and Dragset, or the Cultural Institute they founded in 1993, Fondazione Prada. Lastly, flaws are embraced, like their fall 2026 menswear collection with purposeful stained shirts. Over 55% of the company's revenue can be credited to Gen Z and millennial customers, according to Porter's 5 sources. And they really draw on this demur by involving themselves in things like the Sea Beyond, which focuses on ocean preservation and initiating education and awareness of the topic. Using Gen Z stars like Sadie Sink and millennial stars like Emma Watson, they're definitely driving their younger conscious consumers to the brand, and they're doing a great job at that. Women's Wear Daily also has noted that menswear has been growing steady, and Porter's 5 sources note the male segment is the fastest growing, with expansion in menswear and unisex collection. This could definitely be due to the new collaboration with Raf Simons. Raf Simons is revered as a designer by fashion icons like A$AP Rocky, and he is really known for his menswear. So this increase in sales with men could definitely be due to that collaboration currently. Even though Miuccia Prada's grandfather started the company and her mother Louisa kept it afloat, it's Miuccia's vision and hero product of nylon that's become synonymous with Prada. The hero product, the black nylon Prada Vela backpack, was introduced in 1984 but became an it bag in the 90s, and she eventually introduced nylon into clothing as well. The Radical Chic article in the New Yorker by Judith Thurman, quote, says, Prada dominates the runways and the fashion press season after season, mostly by pleasing herself. The Prada style is a distillation of her personality, end quote. The story of Miuccia, her vision, it's the backbone of the brand, and it is working for them now more than ever, considering they've had increasing sales over the past few years. The physique of the brand can be seen in their nylon and their triangle logo. They're also very much known as being an insider. You understand Prada's anti-sexiness, their geek chic ethos, and their customer reflected image may come off as pretentious or definitely someone who's an insider to fashion, and a lot of people may not understand Prada or even understand the people that shop there. Their brand personality really embraces uniqueness. For example, this ad that says pursue randomness and dichotomies always. So Prada is not just one thing, and that is partially the reason that it's been so successful and a part of their brand identity. Their culture is very much rooted in Miucha's rebelliousness, and she's also described herself as a feminist. The British Vogue article, Miuccia Prada on Reinventing Luxury and the Power of Creativity, says this quote, luxury could be abstract. It could be an idea, end quote. And you can see this in Prada today, that it is very much an abstract idea of Miuccia's vision. That's what Prada is. And lastly, the customer concept could be seen in someone like Alexa Chung, where you're an it girl, but you're effortless. You're not trying too hard and you embrace your awkwardness, you embrace your flaws. That's the kind of person that Prada is attracting, and that's how its customers see itself. The brand has stretched itself over the years, first with introducing their women's footwear line in 1979 and then expanding into their women's wear collection in 1988. They've also expanded beyond the core business, like introducing the Prada Rongzai restaurant in Shanghai. It's also stretched itself by partnering with the Italian manufacturer Luxottica in 2003, and they recently renewed this partnership in 2024, according to Women's Wear Daily. And this collaboration, and I say collaboration because Prada does not just license their name out. Whenever they do something, they're very much heavily involved, and it is a collaboration between the manufacturer and the brand. So even though licensing is usually frowned upon, they really take it upon themselves to make very strategic partnerships that's going to work for them and their brand image. In 2021, L'Oreal and Prada reached a long-term license agreement for the luxury beauty products like their cosmetics and their fragrance line. So this collaboration between eyewear and the beauty and perfume industry has allowed them to capture new markets while still remaining very much aligned to their original ideas and Miuccia vision, and now Miuccia and Raf Simons vision. Their product development and craftsmanship is very much tied to both trends and roots of how things were traditionally made. They're really embracing trends by embracing the new push for sustainability by partnering with Aquafil, the Italian textile yarn producer that's doing groundbreaking research on development of sustainable materials with regenerating nylon by using discarded plastic from landfills and oceans. So they're embracing that newness, but they're also very much still tied with their roots and tradition, like, for example, partnering with the Tannerie Limoges, the historic French tannery dating back 70 years, specializing in plongé Napa leather, as well as partnering with Montevarchi, the Tuscan artisan shoemakers, who are responsible for all of Prada's women's footwear. Their price management has a good mix between accessible, intermediate, and inaccessible products. Their accessible products are usually products under about $500. It can include like their beauty, cosmetic line like lipstick, or their fragrance, or even a water bottle or card holder. Their intermediate range features their more miniature bags or nylon bags or pouchettes or things like swimwear. And their inaccessible lines are their leather coats and their fine jewelry and their Prada Galleria bag. The Business of Fashion article by Robert Williams, Prada's plan for growing in a luxury downturn, says, quote, the brand has raised prices dramatically in some cases, but has yet to be punished by customers who continue to splash out on both seasonal items and bestsellers like its Galleria tote bag and nylon rucksacks. So they're clearly doing a very good job at offering an entire lifestyle of Prada in lots of price ranges, whether it's accessible, intermediate, or inaccessible. And their customers have not been spooked out by the price increases because they understand that their products are made to last and they're very classic. Like, for example, their nylon was introduced in 1984 and it's still one of their most popular products today. The distribution channels of Prada, it's made up of 91% of direct distribution, like through their flagship stores and epicenters, and 9% indirect distribution. This indirect distribution accounts for 9% of their sales, and this could be things like selling their fragrances at Macy's or their eyewear at LensCrafters. But over 91% of their sales come from direct distribution. So they're very much supporting their image with their flagship stores, and they call them their epicenters. For example, their New York epicenter and Tokyo epicenters are more like art installations offering personalized services and totally unique and cannot be compared to other shopping experiences. And this can be drawn to their service and salesmanship. They are very much providing an experience, whether it's the Prada Cafe at Harrods or their epicenter flagship stores. They're establishing an emotional bond with their customer, and this is a part of their sales technique that's totally unique. They don't want to sell to everyone like other mass market brands. Andrew Guerra, the CEO, is cited in Prada's plan for growing in a luxury downturn as saying, quote, "There are bits and pieces of hospitality coming into personal products and vice versa." So you can see this with the Prada Cafe because it's offering an experience. It's very much hospitality focused, but they're also selling you Prada as a brand by including their signature elements of Prada green and selling things that make sense for the brand. Andrew Guerra has admitted in that same article that customer relationships have not always been the best. He says, quote, "We are placing a lot of importance on the experience in stores because they are the epicenter of that relationship." Their communication strategies involves a great mix known as the whisper, song, and scream technique. Their whisper strategy is very much focused on their VIPs. For example, their event in Seoul featured art installations, cinema, DJs, and musical performances, private dinners, and parties. These are invitation only events targeting their very important clients, even artists, and occasionally influencers or celebrities. Their song techniques really focus on PR drivers like runway shows, inviting celebrities, influencers, and insiders. But they also have events like partnering with America's Cup. They have their own sailboat that they race with called the Luna Rossa. And this is very special for Prada because Patrizio Bertelli loves sailing. Their scream techniques could be like a social media ad that an influencer is producing for them. And they also have various like billboards and things that they participate in as well. Their balance is very effective because they allow VIPs more than just a shopping experience, which Prada's CEO Andrew Guerra says that's very important for them to provide, but they are also providing an insight and a look at what the brand is and offering accessible ways to become a part of the Prada family. To conclude, I want to circle back to Andrew Guerra's admission that their customer relationships haven't always been the best. My strategic pivot would recommend a greater focus on those relationships, not just emphasis on experiences and cultural or art ties. The Forbes article sums this up really great. The 70% of luxury customers switched brands, 3 ways to win them back, by Jill Standish in Forbes has great insights. The first is to make operations invisible but felt, end quote. They could do this by introducing repair and renewal services, for example, relining bags, fixing scuffs on their popular nylon bags and Prada Galleria bag. The second is to create a sense of belonging, even online, because the article states 62% of customers expect online shopping to feel just as engaging as in store. I would do this by having remote client advisors and offering cool digital experience, just like the cool experience that you would have in a Prada store. And the third is, quote, enter the rational artisan, end quote. Prada could implement this by training the sales team to be advisors rather than sales associates. They could explain significance of collections and explain references, and they would value conversation over compliments in selling. And this is how they could improve their customer relationships because, like I said, Prada is amazing at creating this experience, involving you and delving you into their world. But that one on one interaction with your very important clients is so important, and there needs to be more emphasis on that. So, that is the end of my presentation. These are the list of references that I used to help me create this project, and thank you so much for watching.